my channel. In this video we will talk about how to create toggle button using Tailwind CSS. So let's start. First we need is HTML5 basic page. So I'm going to create HTML5 basic page. Now we will use the container class from Tailwind CSS, and we also add max auto. Now our container div is ready. Let's put the button tag because we are going to create the toggle button, so we need button tag, and in that we need is some switches. So for now we are using this toggle button for dark mode and light mode theme. So we will use sun and moon switches to show the toggle between. And you just go for documentations and then you click on resources. It will give you the beautiful switches here, and we will use the sun and moon, but we need to toggle in between, so we will copy the same thing here one more time, and we will add it under this pen, which will allow us to toggle between two switches, and it will show us like if you are in dark mode side or light mode side. We also need some class here, so for that I'm going to use rounded full. We might need the relative. I'm also putting some background here, it will look nice, and text and some padding maybe. Okay, and for span I'm going to use absolute class and some margin, not margin padding, but with the position we need some adjustment with the top margin and left margin, so it won't be just like very much on the side. You can literally see it in the action. And we need it same height and same width, and then rounded full, so it will be the circle. Now before we move here or we check here, we also need the CSS config, but we need the CDN one. It's here, so you just use this one. And in action, before we go there, I will use the scale. What it will do is hide one SVG, and we need it to just change the color and right theme. So for that one I'm going to add here 100 and scale 0. Now I'm also going to add some height width, so it will be same and identical. So I'm going to do this one and just copy paste for all the SVGs we used, and justify center. I think that would work. And then we also need some margin here, and I would just say you correct the circle, sun and the circle both. So for that one we have full and PG white. Okay, so it is now working. All we need is a little bit margin and padding, and then we will use a little bit JavaScript to toggle between, because we are not using just in time mode. For now we will use the vanilla JavaScript, and while we have this script tag, now we need to get the toggle button. So let's say we say ID, and then we already have the ID here, so we'll just copy this, and now what we will do is we use the click event. So let's say add event listener, and then we say click, and then we run the function where we will change the class, the ground class we already added there, and now we remove it and add the, instead of that one, we say pg slate 500. Okay, so let's, okay, so it's working now. It's changing the color, but we have to do that. We have to check like if it contains this class, then we will change it to the different one, right? And otherwise we will just do the reverse. So here we will copy paste and then just put the reverse thing. So here we will say add, and here we will say remove, and this one we will have to put it on the top. Okay, so now it's changing the color. Now two things we need to add is we need to add a little bit of animation, so it won't be like quick event like we click and it's just changed. That doesn't look good. So that is one thing, and another is like we have to change the text as well, because we are using the text for SVGs. So here we need to do the text. We have the 200, and we will add slate transition, and duration. We said 200 is fine, I think. So it's not, we have to translate it. So here we also add the transition, and we translate it to through the click event. So say here we already, for now we just add the ID, but you can always query through the class name, or say we just get it here, const and toggle, and then we just say it would be consistent throughout the code. All right, so now it's there. Now use this pen ID which we have added there, and we check first if that span contains the translate class or not, and if it is, then we will just remove it, and if it is not, then we will add it. So for now, let's say, and we have to close the bracket, and then we say if it contains, then what we have to do is, so we have to close this, and we will just provide that class, or we have to add it if it's not there. So here we will add it, and then we will just test it. If it's, we have a little bit padding here, but we will check that in a little bit less, so it will. And for that we need a little bit of JavaScript here too. So for that we say svg 0 scale. All right, and for that we need is button dot get element by class name, and the class name is, we already added here, 0 scale. So this is a 0 scale, and we will change it to the 100 with toggle. So for that we will use this one and say this is our first array. For now we will just try for scale 0, and then we will have the else condition. So if it contains that, then we need to remove it, and then we need to add the 100. So for that one we say scale 0, and then class list dot add scale 100, right? And similar way we will put into the else condition that we will swap the order. So here we will say remove 100 and then add 0. Now first we have to do the same for others. So here 1 2 3 4, I think it's a full scale, and for full we know $100, and then we will change it to the, have all the scripts ready, all the SVGs, button, toggle button, everything is ready, and let's check if how it, and yes, it looks nice. We can change the color, background color with more contrast color to look more, but this is like a working solution. So we used vanilla JavaScript to create this toggle button, and this is mainly used for the dark mode and the light mode theme. But you can change the SVG, or you can just remove SVG and use the plain toggle button as well. In next video we will try to create the same toggle button using Tailwind CSS just in time mode. So look for that video. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please like and share this video, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.